And now, let's run through the starting lineups for you first for Washington and Lee. And we'll try and give you an idea of who to keep an eye on during this match today as well, of course. For the Generals, it'll be number 3, senior Meg, and I believe it's Guinan, but I could be wrong about that. Number 5, Anna Soroka, the setter. Number 8 is the libero, Ellie Cosgrove. Number 10, Kara Borthwick. Number 12, Allison Webb. Number 15, Ashley Mead. Number 20, Courtney Berry is the starters. And for the homestanding Eagles, Maureen Schick, Sydney Lineback, Maddie Arles, Leah Saunders, Finn Wilkins, Carissa Zurich, and Elise Thompson, the libero. Teams are on the floor. And lineups being checked. We'll see who's got, I believe the Generals will have first serve. It looks like it'll be the setter, Anna Soroka. So the setter starting in the right back position, which is not unusual. She is a junior. And this is a team much like Emory that has players from all over the country, including there is an Atlanta native from the Lovett School, Lindy Giron, a freshman, on the Washington Lee roster. We're underway. Sydney Lineback, the senior, starts off with the slide attack, and down she goes. It'll be Elise Thompson to start out serving. We are underway in our best of 5. This one passed pretty well. Dug up by Thompson perfectly. Outside but low. And that one's not going to go. Finn Wilkins was there for a block if needed. Emory up 2-0. Early part of set 1, best of 5 to 25, 15 if necessary, and that for 5th set. This one passed well, but blocked. That's the combination of Zurich and Finn Wilkins. That's going to be a nice blocking combination up there. It's 3-0, Emory. Elise Thompson, good serving, as she often does. Tipped, dug by Saunders. Outside, Zurich hammers, and that's not coming back. That's just raw power. Zurich hammered that ball. No chance to dig that one. 4-0, Emory in the lead. Low serve, but it cleared in the middle. Not able to get that one. Thompson made a nice stab at it, unable to do it. 1 serves 4. The Generals down. And this is a very tough place to play if you're a visiting team. Emory protects the home court as good as any team in college volleyball. Tough serve, dug well by Saunders. Dug and dug again. And that's hammered down by number 12, Allison Webb. Server that time, Ashley Mead. 2 serves 4. Jump serve with a lot of pace on it, but passed well. Outside, Zurich. That one is going to go wide. 3 serves 4. Early going of set number 1. Best of 5 to 25. These are tough serves being put up. Dug up nicely though. Middle. Dug up. Good job by Washington Lee defensively. Zurich with the dig. Dumped. And the quarterback. Maddie Arles. 5 serves 3. It'll be Arles back to serve now. Tough serve, but passed well. Right side. Dug up by Thompson. Great dig. Arles. That's going to be wide. Zurich tried to take that ball extreme cross court, unable to do so. Just a real bit of good idea. Great set, great dig. This will be Kiera Borthwick, and I apologize if I'm getting the names, the misspellings or the mispronunciations wrong. That's going to be tipped over. Doug. Thompson becomes the setter. Pushed up. Blocked. Doug. Thompson with another dig. Right side. But stuffed. That's the combination of Guinan and Courtney Berry. Nice block. It is 5 apiece here in the early part of set 1. Pass not quite where it needed to be, but dug anyway. Tipped by Wilkins, unable to connect. Right side, blocked. That's going to be just out after the block. And Washington Lee takes their first lead, 6-5. Kiera Borthwick. Server for Brian Snyder's team. He's been there 19 years. That's going to go long. We're tied up at 6. And front row substitution in. Tough serve, passed pretty well, right side. And put away. Right side attack is where Brian Snyder's team is going, and they're up 7-6 here in the early part of set 1. Emory got off to a strong start. Dug up. Right side. Leah Saunders connects on the right side, down the line. Beautiful swing, great set, 7-7. Serving sub in. And this will be the senior who served so great last night in multiple matches. This will be Kelsey Means. We're tied at 7. Tough serve. Passed pretty well, though. Right side again. Long. No touch called. 8-7. Washington looking for a touch. Did not get it. Means will continue with her serve. Washington Lee has come out passing the ball very, very well. That serve did not clear. 8-8. Ball back over to the Generals. Meg Guinan to serve for the Generals, one of their leaders. Float serve, but pass well. Middle. Partially blocked, but dug. Dug again. That one by Zurich. Outside. Tara Martin, and that's a name you're going to start hearing an awful lot of, I believe, as the season continues to wear on, because the 5'9" freshman has got a cannon for a right arm. 9-8, Emory leads. Saunders, ace. 10-8, Emory up by 2 for the first time in a while. That left-handed serve comes at you from all different angles. Another tough serve, no spin on this one at all. Pass well, though. Dug up, Zurich gets the dig. Nice defensive try by the Generals, but unable to be cleared. 11-8. Emory leads. Flat serve coming from a left-hander is a tough thing to deal with. This one passed well, though. Right side. That's going to be a net violation on Emory. Back to the Generals we go. 9 looking at 11. This is the libero, Ellie Cosgrove. She is a senior, and you like to have seniors in that libero position. Good float serve. That's going to go long, though. Looked good, but it took off. 12-9. Back to Emory. Tara Martin back to serve. Passed well. Outside. Stuffed. That's the combination. Great combination up there. Sydney Lineback and Maddie Arliss, the senior duo. 13-9. Emory by 4. Set 1. Tough serve. Back row. That's going to go long. 14-9. Emory by 5. And there is a timeout taken by Brian Snyder. I think he felt this one starting to slip away from him. Not a bad idea to take a timeout there. That great block there. Combination of Lineback and RLS really did a nice job closing and stealing that block. No place to go if you're a hitter. So Emory started out strong. Washington Lee came back well, and Emory has now retaken a lead. And here are the UAA records. Emory 6-1, tied with Chicago, but Emory will take the number 1 seed going into the UAA tournament. Chicago number 2, Washington University number 3, Carnegie Mellon 4, Case Western down the list with NYU and Rochester, who is the host this year of the tournament, and Brandeis. So there's the thing, and Emory will start out with Brandeis next weekend. This tournament is Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Rochester, New York, if you are in the vicinity. Tara Martin. Serve will continue. So Snyder, a very experienced coach of the Generals, in his 19th season leading this team. Most important thing you always tell a server coming out of a timeout call by the team is get the first one in. Martin indeed does. Outside. That's wide. Nice look by Thompson in the right spot, but it goes wide. 15-9. Emory by 6. This one's tight. Nice job, though. Good push over the net. That's just pure strength right there. The setter, Anna Soroka, back to serve for the Generals. 10 looking at 15. Tough serve. Thompson will bring it over. That probably was going to go long, but they played it. Back row. Dug up by Thompson. Tipped. Hammered. Line back. Great job by RLS keeping that ball on the Eagles side of the net. 16-10. This will be Thompson to start out. Serve where she started from. Tight. Tipped. Blocked. Going to have to come over now. Thompson again with the dig. Outside. Zurich. Came off the net. Dug up. Pushed over by RLS. And it's going to go back over to the right side. And down the block it comes. Nice job that time by the Generals. Winning a long rally. That was by Allison Webb. 11 serving 16. Still a tight set here. Either side can really take control. Jump serve did not go. And Maddie RLS. Thompson with a pass. Zurich hammered that one out of the middle. One of the things Jenny likes to do is to bring her middles, her outsides into the middle and her middles to the outside. 18-11, that one's not going to clear. 12 looking at 18. Emory up by 6 with 7 to go. Getting pretty late in the match here. This is Kiera Borthwick. Served well last time for the Generals. Float serve, well set, well passed. Oh my. And there's an example of taking that right side attacker, Leah Saunders, and bring her in the middle. Crushed that ball. No chance to dig. Now Emory in the zone. They're up by 7 with 6 to go. Flat serve. That's going to be an ace. The senior coming in, Mila Barzdukas. 20 serves. Boy, is it tough to come in fresh off the bench and serve aces. 20 serves 12. Dug up by Thompson. Back row. Tipped. Thompson again. Outside. Dug up. Martin digs it. Great job by the Generals. 13 looking at 20. Allison Webb to serve for the Generals. Thompson, another great pass. Hammered. Great job in the middle by Finn Wilkins. 21-13. The offense has not been stopped. Timeout taken, number 2 by the Generals. At least I believe it was taken by the Generals. Last play. Wilkins. That was almost a self-defense play on the part of the Generals to keep from getting hit by a ball. But Emory has come out passing extremely well. And here you have the top 10 Division III teams. Emory, of course, right now at number 8. Teams they have lost to include number 7 Juniata and number 6 they at their place Claremont Mud Scripps. Thomas More was at this tournament. Emory won't see them, but they have played well. And Emory has played an extremely difficult schedule this year. One of the toughest in the nation, if not the toughest in the nation. One of the 2 top schedules in the country. 21-13. Barzdukas serve will continue. That was the second timeout taken by the Generals. They have none left. Actually, this is Kelsey Means coming in to serve now. Sorry, after the side out and the big hit from Finn Wilkins. Means serving very, very well here. Did last night. And has so far today. Tough serve. Passed off the net. Back row. Dug up. Outside. But stuffed that time. Even freshman Bombers get stuffed occasionally. That was just a great, great block by the Generals. 14 serves 21. Generals down 7 with 4 to go. Real tough to come back now, but what you want to do if you're the Generals is get some momentum going into set number 2. That's going to be just a touch wide. Lineback had a great approach, just missed the line by just a touch. 15 serving 21. Thompson, another great pass. Pushed over. Back row. Thompson, another pass. Great pass. Right side. Stuffed that time, and the Generals have really got their blocking going well. 16 serves 21. I'm sure that may have gone long, but it was played. Hammered down that time. Lineback stopped that run. 22-16. Emory 3 points away from victory here in set 1. Becky Brewer, another one of the seniors in to serve. Emory by 6, 3 to go to win set 1. And hammered down the line. Great put away that time. Bryn Gould with that hit. 17-22. Libero to serve. This one not going to be passed very well. Martin with a good swing anyway. Off the block. And Washington Lee showing some signs of life here, which of course if you're a coach you don't want to see if you're on the Emory side, but they played everyone very tough in this tournament. That's going to go over. Free ball back over to the Generals. Back row. Long. Nice idea to go back row, but it goes long. 23-18. Emory 2 points away from set one. Tara Martin to serve for the Eagles. Tough serve. Tight to the net. Blocked. Good dub that time by lineback and Carissa Zurich. 24, we're at set point for the Eagles here in set one. 24, serving 18. That one did not go. Tough serve. But you're up by this much with only 1 point to go. It's not bad to try and take some tough serves. Anna Soroka, the setter, will serve. Outside, Zurich. Be a free ball back over to the Eagles. Right side. Dug up. Nicely done. Is over. And that's going to go a little long, and I think Maddie Arles would have liked to have that one back because she had the right idea to go deep. Just a little too deep. 20 looking at 24. Thompson, another great pass. Down it goes, line back. Off the pass, off the set, 25-20. That closes out set one for the Eagles. Nicely done, great way to close out set number one. See that last play. Off the great pass from Thompson. Great set, lineback has got this down as good as it goes. One of the best in the UAA, if not the best in the nation. So nicely done. Emory not hitting where they'd like to normally hit, but holding Washington Lee a much lower number. And this is the overall averages right now. Zurich leading the way at 3.11 kills per set. McKnight second, 3.06. Leah Saunders third, and Tara Martin is now climbing that list as well because she has become a go-to hitter on the outside. And the digs, well, no surprise there. Elise Thompson averaging 4, nearly 5 per set. Maureen Schick with 2. Leah Saunders with 2. Logan Van Rieken 1.87. And in blocks, Finn Wilkins now leading the way over with Sydney linebacker right there with her. Maggie Rimmel in third. So you're going to see some new faces and names here. Emory up 1-0 here. The Generals played very well in set one. A lot of blocks for the Generals. Don't see Emory get outblocked all that often. So that's a pretty big accomplishment. Emory still out-hit the Generals 162 to 086, but neither number being very sparkling. I'm sure that'll be something that coaching staff will talk about with the team. From an individual perspective, for the Generals, Allison Webb led the way with 5 kills. That's number 12. Anna Soroka, the setter, with 2. Bryn Gould with 2. And no surprise, Sydney lineback with 5 kills. And then Maddie Arles, Leah Saunders, and Carissa Zurich 2, 2, and 2. And And Elise Thompson leading the way in the dig category with 7 digs. Also passed exceptionally well in set 1. Really, really owned the court. So the teams have switched sides, as they will do every set. Emory now in that blue, going from right to left. The Generals left to right. We're ready to get set 2 underway. And I believe this time Emory will start with serve. It will be Elise Thompson, I think, starting with serve, perhaps. And Thompson now back on the court. No, check that. It's going to be Maureen Schick to start serving for the Eagles. Eagles up 1-0. We're underway in set 2. Pass well. Roll shot past the block, and the Generals take the early lead here. Allison Webb, another kill, and she will serve. In the middle, line back. Eagles passing very well here. Good defensive work by the Generals is certainly what has helped them, and now Thompson will serve. Tough serve deep. Be a back row attack. Thompson, that was a tough one. That ball was coming with a lot of pace on it. And Washington Lee up 2-1. They certainly showed they were capable of playing with the number 8 Eagles in set 1. Zurich. That's going to go just wide, and 3-1. Generals, they gave away an early lead in set 1. They have not made the same mistake in set 2. They take the lead here, 3-1. That's going to go long, though. 2 serves 3. RLS now back to serve, the general and quarterback of this team. Float jump. Doug. That's going to be kept alive. Zurich gets it over and deep. Going to be passed very tight, though. Out. No touch seen. We are tied at 3 apiece. RLS, this one goes high pace. Tipped and down. 4-3. Washington Lee with that lead. The libero, Ellie Cosgrove, will serve for the Generals. Thompson, another great pass. Middle. And that is Carly Saitman, the senior, with that put away. That's going to go long. Zurich just had a bit too much on that one. 5-4. Washington Lee back with the lead and the serve. Another great pass from Thompson. Tipped. Tipped again. Done by Saunders. Brings it up. Tipped again. Zurich couldn't swing at where she was. And that's going to make a 2-point lead for the Generals. 6, looking at 4. One way you have to play Emory on this home floor is you've got to jump on them and jump on them early, and so far the Generals have done that here in set 2. That's going to go wide, though. 5 serve 6. Generals trying to serve tough, and when you have some tough serves, sometimes you're going to miss them. Looks like we're missing a player. Had to do a little bit of changing of positions. Kelsey Means now in to serve for Carly Saitman. She served very, very well here last night. 5, looking at 6. Just wide. Seven, 5. Generals maintain that lead. Thompson, great pass off a tough serve. And no doubt, linebacker said thank you and good night. That was a pretty much as undiggable as you get ball. 6, serving 7. Can the Eagles get something going defensively? Right side. Off the antenna. That's going to go back to the Eagles at 7 apiece. Saunders continues with her serve. Tied at 7. Well passed. Off the block and down. Eight, 7. Generals back on top by 1. Anyone's game here. No one's really been able to establish significant momentum. Well passed. Back row. Saunders tried to go for a little too much. And the Generals take that 2-point lead back, 9-7. Good pass again, right side. Dug up. That was called out, then called in. 10-7. Another substitution coming in. This will be the senior. Mila Barzduk is coming in the back row. Just a change in momentum, I'm sure, from Jenny. Well passed. Outside. Martin. Dug up. Tipped. And it falls. 4-point lead for the Generals, 11-7. And there is the first time out I've seen Jenny Hazelwood use this tournament. And the Generals playing very, very well and did not give away that lead. That ball was hammered down by linebacker on a previous play. Nicely done. The Eagles have really done a nice job on their side-out offense. Where they have struggled is really they have been unable to really make anything happen on the block. And Washington Lee has been able to touch a lot of balls defensively. So, Coach Jenny finishes with her team. Down 4. Plenty of options out there from an offensive perspective. It's just a question of can Emory start to slow down the Generals defensively and take away some plays. (11) serving 7. Done. Great job by Saunders. Right side and down by linebacker. With some urgency to it now. 8 serves 11. That slide attack linebacker hits as good as any player in Division III. This one passed off the net. Off the block and down again. Emory has touched a lot of balls defensively, but unable to bring them up even after they have been partially blocked. 12-8. Back over to the Generals. Good job by RLS there. Had to turn into a blocker all of a sudden. Now it's back on. Great job by Carissa Zurich there. Leaving no doubt there. 9 serves 12. Elise Thompson can. And she's motioning to her team, and I think it's the same thing the coaching staff will be saying is play with some urgency here. This one passed high but well. Dug by Thompson. Zurich off the block. Dug up by the Generals. Roll shot and down. Zurich again. Saitman off the block and down. 2-point game. 10 looking at 12. Thompson continues with her serve. That's an ace right on the line. 11 serves 12. That thing died right at the line. I thought it might be long too, but wow, what a serve. 11-12. Tough serve again. Going to be a free ball back to the Eagles. Saunders with a dig. Thought there might be a touch there, but not called. 13-11. Ball back. 2-point lead back in the hands of the Generals. This one not passed well. Thompson becomes the setter. Zurich. Dug. Back row. Roll shot. Dug up. Outside. Block. And dug. And dug. Dug again. Dumped. Oh, yes. Maddie Arles knows when to use that shot as well as any player in college volleyball. Big rally there. 12 looking at 13. Emory trails by 1. Thompson with a great dig. Right side. Hammered, but dug. Outside. Zurich unable to really put anything on that one. 14-12 and getting late here in set number 2. And the Generals clearly have cleaned some things up from set 1 and they are playing well. Thompson again with the set. Great job that time. Thompson becomes the setter and Zurich with the put away. 13-14, but Emory needs to put some points together. And this will be Zurich. Remember, she is also up and in the back row. Tough serve, but passed well outside. Dug up. McKnight. Back row. And stuffed. Great dig by McKnight. Zurich, they were waiting on that back row attack that time. 15-13, Washington Lee. McKnight. Off the block and down. That one never came. 16-13. This one going to be dug up. Back row attack. Dug up by Thompson. Right side. Dug up again by the Generals. Right side. That's long. 14-16. Emory needs to put together some points again. Kelsey Means now into serve. They trail by 2 here, getting kind of late here in set number 2. Tough serve that time. Oh, yes, ace. Just what the doctor ordered. Thank you very much, Kelsey Means. Great serve. 15 looking at 16. Nothing like a service ace when you need to close a gap. Another tough serve. Going to be a free ball back to the Eagles. Right side. But dug up by the Generals. Back to the right side. Hammered down that time. We are tied up on the block. And I have seen Emory do this where there may be a slight gap, but Emory hits the accelerator at just the right time. Means has done her job with tough serves. And another tough one. Going to be another free ball back over to the Eagles. McKnight on the line. 17-16, and the Eagles retake the lead. McKnight hammered that ball. That serve just a touch long, but that's the job that you want Kelsey Means to be doing, is tough serves, and she did exactly that. We're tied at 17 apiece. It's a game to 8. Anyone's got it. Important to get the first contact on the mark here for both sides, and this one did not go at all for the Generals. Emory back on top, 18-17, Leah Saunders, and this left-handed serve has caused the Generals some difficulty. Just like that, there's an ace. 19-17, Emory for the first time in a long time by 2. Wouldn't be surprised for one more point to see Brian Snyder take that timeout. Roll shot, Doug. McKnight. Off the touch. And there indeed is the timeout I thought we were going to see. 20-17, Emory up by 3 with 5 to go. Take a look at that last play. McKnight just crushed that line. Beautiful swing by Morgan McKnight. Nicely done. And Emory, although has trailed for much of this game, has done a nice job resetting the momentum here. Each side with a timeout left now, and it could be very crucial coming down to point 25 to see how those timeouts, if they're used, how they can be used. And Coach Snyder letting his team talk things over. Leah Saunders, will she be iced or will she be ready to roll? Knowing her, she'll be ready to roll. As I said before, one of the things you tell every player is after a timeout call by the team, get the serve over. Doesn't need to be your best serve, but get it over. Saunders has followed Kelsey Means with some very difficult serves. John Braden, the assistant coach, doing a nice job here of ensuring that she calls those serves for her team. And we are underway. And it goes over, but passed well this time. Tipped, dug, dumped. And again, Maddie Arles has got a better sense of when that works than almost any setter I have seen in college volleyball. 21-17, Eagles by 4 with 4 to go. They are in the zone. That's going to go long, but a good serving run by Saunders. 18 looking at 21. Important sequence for both sides. That first touch, really important. Look for Thompson to take over the back row here for the Eagles. Back row. Dug up by the Generals, and that's going to be a miscommunication on the part of the Generals, and that's a point over to Emory. 22-18. 3 to go for a set 2 victory. Maureen Schick in to serve for the Eagles. That serve just about died in the vine, but comes over. Zurich off the block and down. 23-18. And there's that second timeout taken rapidly by the Generals. I think they are a little stunned because they led so much of this set. Zurich just goes off the block and down. Nothing fancy, just a smart shot from a very, very smart hitter. Of course, calling an Emory hitter smart is kind of a silly thing to say. All these young ladies are, of course, true student athletes in every sense of the word. As we heard last night about the seniors, most of them are double majors and doing great, have great plans to do great things in their careers in the future. 23-18, 2 points from a set 2 victory and a 2-0 victory. Schick will continue with her serve. As Snyder finishes his comments to his team, who've played extremely well through much of this second set, in fact led much of this second set. And here we go. First contact always important. Out of timeouts now are the Generals. 23-18, Emory by 5 with 2 to go. Critical stop here for the Generals. Tough serve though. Outside. Out. 24-18, we are at set point in set 2. 1 point to go. Deep serve, not passed well. Tipped off the net, that never came. That's a 4-hit call. That is going to close out set 2, 25-18. And I don't want to sound surprised, but that's just a great job of comeback volleyball by the Eagles. They were down much of that set, but found a way to come back and win. They lead now 2-0, 25-20, and this one 25-18. Great job by the Eagles. And the Eagles up 2-0. Emory's hitting percentage has gone up a little bit, and they are still significantly out hitting the Generals, 191 to 078. Washington Lee did not get any blocks in that set, I do not believe. Emory, I think got 1. Emory leads slightly on Diggs and has 5 service aces to none for the Generals. Still not quite where Jenny McDowell would like her team to be offensively. But that was a very interesting set because it showed the ability for a team like Emory to come back from a deficit, and to come back hard they did. Extremely well. Upcoming this afternoon, 3 p.m. If you're in the area, please come. If not, we'll be right back with you on the network here. Birmingham Southern, and that's going to be a tough match. They beat this team last night, this team we're seeing right now, the Generals, but it was a tough match. And then, of course, Emory goes in to the UAA Championships as the #1 seed. They play on Friday. If they win there, they'll move on to the semifinals, and that will be on Saturday. And, of course, the championship match will be on Sunday. And, of course, then the NCAA selection show on the 5th, and we'll know then if Emory will host a regional or not. They have put in to host, but that's, of course, to be determined. And, of course, we'll have those matches for you if they are here. Teams have switched sides again. Emory will go from left to right in the home blue. The Generals in gray, right to left. So a great comeback by the Eagles there in set number 2, because they trailed for much of that set and showed a lot of tough serving, great defense to come back. here come the Generals back on the floor. The Eagles already out there. And I don't see any, I have no doubt that the Generals are going to fight very hard here in set number 3, because I'm sure they think they should have won set 2, and they were not that far out in set 1 for that matter. Very well coached, well put together team. And they will be starting out with serve here in set number 3. And the setter, Anna Soroka, will start out with serve for the Generals. And we are underway. And Carissa Zurich, I think, feels a little kind of silly, because she took a big swing and the ball just kind of dribbled off her hand, but it's a kill nonetheless. They don't go into the record books at a certain mile per hour. 1-0, Emory leads here. Thompson to start out with serve for the Eagles. Off the block and out. (2-0), Emory leads. Good pass this time in the middle. Off the block. Saunders with a dig. Dump. Maddie Arles. As I said, she knows when she has that shot based on the rotation she's in, and does as good a job with it as anybody you're going to see, not only in the UAA, but in the nation. 3-0. Emory starting out set 3, much like they started set 1. Stuffed. Combination of Saitman and Arles with the block there. 4-0. Another tough serve, but passed well. Right side, tipped, blocked, dug up, back to the... That's going to be a net violation on the Eagles, I believe, and that's going to put point number 1 on the board for the Generals. 1 looking at 4. As we're in the beginning of set number 3, the Eagles having won the first 2. Tough serve, but passed well. Right side. Blocked, dug. Arles from the back row goes Saunders. Dug up. Right side. Blocked. Schick with a nice dig. Zurich with a hammer. Crushes that ball in the middle of the court. No one there to come close to it. 5-1 Eagles. Service ace from Maddie Arles. That one died on top of the net. 6-1. I wasn't sure that was going to clear the net, but it did, and then it literally died. This one goes a little further. Blocked. Back row. Thompson tried to get that one, unable to do so. 2 looking at 6. Dumped in the middle. Saunders hammered that ball and threw it down. 7-2. Morgan McKnight back in the front row. And in the back row is Becky Brewer, senior defensive specialist, to come in and serve. Emory 7-2. Tough serve, not passed well, but passed set pretty well. Emory comes up with it. Back on offense go the Generals. Right side. Stuffed. McKnight and Saitman with the block. 8-2, and the block has come back for the Eagles here in set 3. We haven't seen much of that so far. 8-2. This one again not passed well. That never came, and if it did, Saitman had that all day. 9-2. Ryan Snyder's going to have to use a timeout here pretty soon. Again, not passed well. Free ball back over to the Eagles. Last thing you want to do, give free balls back. The Eagles, but a great block. And that's a great job that time by the combination of Meg Guinan and Courtney Berry. Great blocking job. 3 looking at 9. That saved Brian Snyder the trouble of calling a timeout. And Saitman didn't quite get all that one, but it goes in anyway. 10-3. Kelsey Means coming in to serve, and she's had some big serves, especially in that last set when the team really needed them and they were trailing much of that second set. 10-3. Well passed. Right side. Wide. And there's the timeout that I thought would be coming from Brian Snyder. 11-3. He knew it was getting late. Well passed. Up and down. Doesn't matter how hard it comes down, as long as it hits the floor, that is all that matters. Emory trying to close this one out as they have other matches here in this tournament in 3 sets. Washington Lee giving them all they want, though, in set number 2 for sure. The Eagles seem to have got their block back here in set number 3. Kelsey Means, a very good server out on the floor. And the Generals still in their huddle. Got to be all about first contact now. If you're on the General side, you've been playing very well. Your block has been good. And now we're seeing, looks like a, if I'm going to count this right, substitutions. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I thought I was seeing what I was seeing, and I did indeed see it. That was everybody. That is a whole different squad of players out. Now, I'm not saying this is a strategy, but sometimes putting in new players can be effective. 11-3. Emory bench looking at themselves, trying to figure out what just happened as well, I think. And who's the team captain? It's being asked by the referee. He now knows. It'll be number 23, Riley Harrelson, who's the new setter, I believe. Because literally that was entirely a new lineup in for the Generals. And starting out with an ace is Kelsey Means. That's 12-3. Emory by 9. The tough spot to make is kind of a lineup change too, and your setter is at the far left corner. She has to do a lot of running to start out with. Tough one. Free ball back on the line and down by Morgan McKnight. 13-3. Emory by 10. Now some subs back in. One back in at least for the Generals. 13-3. Kelsey Means going to go back and rip another serve, I have a feeling. Oh, yes, she did. Off the block and down. 14-3. And believe it or not, right now, Emory is in the zone. They're up 14-3. Ace. Make it 15-3. Kelsey Means is ripping serves. 15-3. Emory by 12 with 10 to go. Another tough serve. Pass to the other side, back row. Roll shot. Arles. Dug up nicely. Dumped and stuffed by Lineback. Sydney Lineback waiting for that tip. Hammered it home. 16-3. Emory showing no signs of letting up. Tough pass, blocked. Outside, McKnight waiting there for that tip over. 17-3. Brian Snyder will have to use another timeout here, I think. And he did indeed just do exactly that. Very strange match. The first set was mostly Emory. The second set was mostly Washington Lee. And this one has been all Emory. McKnight waiting, hammered that one down. That overpass comes over, and a great team like Emory knows what to do with it, and that's to hammer it home. And they did. They are up 17-3 here. Don't mean to sound surprised, but after that last set, which I thought, quite frankly, could have gone either way, it's unusual to see a coach change out his entire lineup as a mechanism. That's his last time out. All he has left now is substitutions. And 8 points to go before Emory takes the set. (17-3). Kelsey Means still back to serve, and I'm sure the comment will be, and of course she knows this already, is let's just get this one in. She has been absolutely ripping jump serves. And she did again. Going to be a free ball back to the Eagles. Tip. Never came, and Lineback there once again. Mila Barzdukas is in the front row for Leah Saunders. 18-3. Another very tough serve, and that's going to be an ace. Kelsey Means has absolutely served between set 2 and set 3, has served Washington Lee off the court. And Washington Lee putting another player back on the floor. I think from the original starting lineup, 19-3, 6 points to match for the Eagles. This one not passed that well. That's going to be long. 20-3. The Eagles have been in the zone for a very long time. They're up by 17 with 5 to go. Kelsey Means, another service winner. That may be an ace or not, but boy, has she served huge. 21-3. Finally, Kelsey Means missed one, but what a serving spectacular run by Kelsey Means. 4 looking at 21. 4 points from match victory for the Eagles. Mostly on the backs of Kelsey Means with some bombs. Well passed. Barzdukas. Double hit called on Washington Lee. That makes it 22-4. And Barzdukas will be back to serve. The left-hander. This one passed well, but not set very well outside the antenna. 23-4. Two points away from match for the Eagles. That one didn't clear, but you can afford some missed serves when you're up by this much. 5, looking at 23. Thompson passing well outside. McKnight off the block and down, and that is set and match point on the board for the Eagles. 24 serving 5, and it will be Maureen Schick going back to try to serve out this match. Passed well, actually no pass well, passed off the net. Going to be a free ball back to the Eagles. Can they convert? Outside. And indeed, getting match point is Becky Brewer. That is going to do it. 25-5, following up a 25-20 and 25-18 victory. Emory really played great. And we'll see Becky Brewer getting what I'm sure for her is not a very typical play, a kill. And on the free ball pass over. And it's senior to senior. And Brewer, deep corner shot, beautifully done. Emory wins that in 3 sets in somewhat unconventional fashion. Emory, though, picked up their hitting a lot. Hit 444 in set number 3, 224 for the game. And Washington Lee kids could not get anything going. Only 2 kills in that third set, 7 hitting errors, minus 438. Just some quick individual stats. Allison Webb continued to lead the way for the Generals. For the Eagles, Sydney Lineback had a great match. 8 kills. Carissa Zurich with 7. Maddie Arles, especially off the dumps, 5. Morgan McKnight, 5. Leah Saunders, 4. Carly Saitman with 3. Finn Wilkins with 1. Becky Brewer with 1. Tara Martin with 1. So it was really a lot of different players touching. So it's been another great match. Emory is now 21-5 on the year. Their third set victory here